Hold on a second. Let me let you in real quick. Hello, everyone that's tuning in. Hi!
Hi, Sue. How
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm so good. Hold on. Let me just move this over.
Yes. Girl,
Okay, I have my little setup.
yeah, look at me. I had to go get my ingredients.
Oh, beautiful. I love it.
Yes.
I
So,
love it.
before we get started, I'm gonna be making just a drink with you because the kitchen was a little too complicated for me.
No worries.
But
No worries. I'm
we're gonna,
already starting.
yes, we're gonna follow you along and we're gonna have a good time. Thank you so
Okay,
much for
great.
doing
Yay.
this.
I'm so happy to see you. Let me turn these tostones that I started.
Okay.
Okay, because I started some tostones so it doesn't get too hot because it turned out to be a hot day today.
Yes. Look at my hair.
So
It's like all frizzy.
I know, girl. Whatever. Curly hair. It's summer already. That's it.
Exactly.
Okay, so let me flip these and then we can start.
Yeah. So thank you so much for everyone tuning in. I'm here with Damaris Oliveras. She is the founder and amazing chef for Island Life Kitchen. And I'm so excited to have her here today. We're gonna make an appetizer dish, or she's gonna make an appetizer dish, and I'm gonna watch. And then
Yes,
we're
yes.
also gonna make a signature cocktail for the evening because it's only fitting. It's Friday, it's happy hour
Hello.
time. So I'm so excited to have everyone here. And before we even get started, I just wanted to give a one time to our first responders. You know, it's after 7 and everyone was out here clapping already.
Definitely. Thank
So
you.
definitely acknowledge them. So
Yes.
hi, Damaris, how are
Hi.
you?
How are you? Thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna put the volume up
Of
too. I'm having
course.
a little volume issue. Let me see. Because I don't have the headphones
Yes.
on. So we'll try. Okay.
Yeah. I'll also
Thank you
try to
so much
speak
for
as low as
having
I
me.
can. Of course. I'm so excited. First of all, I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in forever. It's been
I
so
know.
long. And I'm
Yes, it
so
has.
happy
Too
that you've
long.
been doing well, during this time. So it's just so great to see you. Thank you so much.
Likewise. Thank you, Sue. I really appreciate you having me as always. I do miss seeing you. You know, we're probably gonna meet at the Puerto Rican Day Parade and now, with the pandemic.
I'm so
So
sad.
I
I
know.
know.
So we just have to keep doing these videos, and I'm glad to see you. Thank you for having me on your page. Thank you so much. I always thank you for giving me a platform. You were the first person to give me a platform to show off my kitchen, so I'm so thankful for you also.
Of course. I think what you're
Yeah.
doing is amazing. And listen, we can't go to the parade, but we're bringing Puerto Rico to you guys
Right.
tonight.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
100%. Yeah.
yeah, so it's so exciting. Thank you so much for everyone watching. You guys know this is Fearless Fridays IG Live series. Normally I have two guests on who are doing amazing things, who are culture shifters, who have their own businesses, who are entrepreneurs, who are successful in the corporate career, just people who are really doing amazing things. So I want to thank everybody that's on here. Oh, I see Jatali. Hi, Jatali. I think my mom is on here, my sister. Everyone,
Okay,
hello.
beautiful. Yeah, my family's on too.
Yes, hi, Damaris
Yeah.
family.
Hey.
Yeah. So before we get started, I did want you to take at least 5 minutes to introduce yourself and introduce your company and let everyone know, a little bit of the history and why you became so passionate about bringing Island Life Kitchen to everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Let me turn this off 1 sec. I started Island Life Kitchen because I saw at the time it was 2.5 years ago, right after the hurricane. So it was initial situation in Puerto Rico. I just saw that there was a lot of people, obviously for the fight for Puerto Rico, and I wanted to take part in that, but not in a way that was leaning towards government issues, more showing our culture and showing what we have to offer and kind of bringing that culture to the people, right? It turned out that I wanted to reach out more to our Spanish and Latin people, and it turned out that I got people from around the world. So it was kind of a beautiful thing. I think we spoke about it. Then now, later in my business, I get more Latinos, and it turns out that a lot of us in our generations, we don't continue our recipes and our traditions. And so we let our ancestors do everything. And so that's also another reason why I wanted to do it. And I'm getting those people now that are like, oh, I need to cook this. I need to learn how to make this.
Mm-hmm.
Please teach me. And so it just became a bigger thing. And it's so interesting to see the people that are really interested in Puerto Rico around the world. You know, you think that they aren't and that we're kind of disregarded, but there's a lot of people that love us and wants to see us do well. So it's something that I experienced with Island Life Kitchen. I created it. I had people book my class online. I promoted it, and I would get people from Japan, Europe, South America, Caribbean people like me, and New Yorkers like me. So it turned out to be a amazing experience. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
So before we get started, tell us a little bit about your Puerto Rican origin and what you miss the most about the island.
Oh, wow, so much. So my dad is from Ciales. Our family's from Ciales, Puerto Rico, and it's a small mountain town. We're called Jibaros, so we're country people. And so every time, even when I go to Puerto Rico, I tell people my family's from Ciales. They're like, oh, you're una Jibara. You're a country girl, right? And so, yeah. And so I grew up fishing in the rivers and sweetwater rivers with our hands and spears.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I'm going to actually show you a picture I have. I have my dad. This is him spearfishing in Ciales. I don't know if you guys can see that there.
Oh, wow.
And so this is how we gathered our food. And my father's family for many years. And we have our own farm and whatnot. And so every summer, that's what I experienced. And obviously, I'm a New Yorker. I came back home, experienced New York life, saw how the recipes would change. And I always hated that we were making everything out of canned and processed food, you know, our traditional food that when I go to Puerto Rico, we just cut off the trees, we get our fresh chickens, we get our fresh meat from the yard, you know, or from the local poultry. And so it was something that I wanted to always incorporate in this class. I wanted to show that you can get back to eating organic, eating from the earth, and the way that we're raised back home, and the way that we're raised back home. And so that was really important for me to focus on. And so a lot of the traditional recipes, I make them just a little bit healthier. I use better oils, better ingredients, not a lot of canned items, and just clean. Not a lot of dairy either, so you're going to see a lot of things that I use based on health, right? Because our people, Spanish and Black people, a lot of cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes. And so I wanted to help eliminate that. You know, I said, look, our people have such amazing foods. All of our fruits and veggies have antioxidant power, and they have properties that can help us to heal from within. That's my thing, right? So I said, we can make it back to normal, back to getting back to earth. And so that's what I did. So everything from, you know, the juice that I make for the cocktails to the sauces that I use, it's all made from scratch. And then I help people to just, based on their diet, create their own meals, especially here in New York, since it's so hard. You know, now obviously we have quarantine, we're at home, we can cook more often. But before, we're on a busy schedule, I teach people to prep and how to buy their ingredients at the supermarket and island ingredients, because not a lot of people know the island ingredients, right?
Right.
So
that's awesome. That's awesome because, and you know, I look back because I was gonna say something about Goya.
Right.
No shade to Goya because that's you know
Puerto
Rican culture, but they do have a lot of canned stuff and a lot of stuff that's not completely organic. So I love that you're doing that, and you know, ever since I met you and I learned about you know what you do, I always felt like this is gonna be major. Like it's going to be huge because we don't have really anything coming from Puerto Rico into the States that's really organic, you know? So the fact that you're helping people, you know, shop better, shop more healthier, figure out what's healthier to put into your body. That's all like super, super important things. And you're adding to our culture. Like you're helping us live a longer life. You're helping us procreate better, you know? So that's super awesome.
Yeah, that's my idea. You know, I was sick of seeing even my father now. He has respiratory issues. He has pulmonary fibroids.
Right.
And so that is a food-based disease. So you have to change your diet completely. You can't eat oil anymore. You can't eat any grains. You can't eat sugar, dairy. And so can you imagine a 67-year-old man, an island man who's used to eating tostones and fried pork and everything that we love? It's not easy for him. And so I said, if I can do it with my dad, then I can do it with anyone because I know how our people are. And so I just started making recipes, incorporating vegan and alkaline ingredients. So I talk a lot about Irish sea moss. I talk a lot about guanabana. So things that you can incorporate. I talk about a lot about changing your spices to alkaline. So these are all preventative for cancer, right? So if there's cancer in your family, we're preventing it. We're taking away, we're eliminating the sugar. we're eliminating the dairy, and we're using spices that are alkalized.
Yeah.
And so you're creating a force within your body to combat all those free radicals. So that's what free radicals are looking for. They're looking for sugar, dairy, and oil. And so with that, you can improve your health, obviously. If you're at a stage with any sickness, I know people that are pre-diabetic that change their diet completely and they come back to being normal. They no longer are in risk of diabetes.
Wow.
So it's really, yeah. And especially where I work part-time at the senior center with Los Feliz in Brooklyn. So especially there, you can see people that want to change their lives, that make real sound choices because they know how to eat, because they come from country people, they come from island people that only cooked from their land. So it's not like they don't know. So they just go back to it, they eliminate all those bad toxins, and they're able to get better.
Oh my God, I feel like you need to create to-go meals. Like, you know how those people create, what do you call that? Like meal prepping.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, so I started, Sue. This is how I started. I forgot to mention that. So I started meal prep here in Queens in the neighborhood for like single guys and girls. And so I would do based on their diet. And I would always say, like, you know, these people have time on the weekends. They're eating out 8 days a week, right? Because they're going to work, ordering in when they come home for dinner. And then the weekend, they're obviously going to brunch and dinner. And so they never, ever eat a home cooked meal. Right. And so I thought, like, people really need to learn how to cook. That's really what it is. Yeah. People don't know how to cook. Like, I would have people, all stages of cooking, obviously, that took my class. But some people are just shocked by the basic things that you and I maybe were taught because, you know, we were poor and we couldn't afford to go out to eat. Right. You know, so it's like, okay, so this is how you do it. And this is how you prep for your week, you know? And so that's always been in my mind. Like I always said, even if I do gain anything from this, I'm always going to keep those roots of maintaining cooking at home, maintaining my way of saving food, and all these things that I have within me that I've learned throughout my family, you know?
Yeah. That's, I want to buy something from you, so we'll talk.
Okay, cool. Amazing.
But I wanted to get started with the drink so I can sip on the cocktail while you're cooking.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit, and then you have all the ingredients behind you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a tamarind mint julep, right? So you bought the tamarind juice. I use my tamarind. And so I just want to explain to people, they can buy the tamarind and they can just soak it. So this is what it looks like. Let me see if I'm too far away. I'm going to bring this a little closer. One sec. Okay. So they can buy the tamarind just like this, take it out of the pod and lay it in water. So you take out of the pod, take this root too, and you put it in water in a glass jar for a couple of hours.
Okay.
And then you can extract and soften that meat. And then you're able to make your juice, and you just kind of seethe it through a colander. You get all the seeds out and the pulp, and you're able to get a nice juice. Okay, so if you don't want to do it, because nowadays, now with the quarantine, I'm finding it hard to find anything at the supermarket, anyways.
Yeah.
And I'm finding a lot of vegetables and fruit, right? So you can make this on your own.
Very true.
Just like this. And so I wanted to make, this is a cocktail that I've always had in my class. It's refreshing. It's very summery. And so I love it. I always love fresh mint. And so you are going to do a little shaker and muddling.
My own style.
Okay, cool. Cool. I have a muddler too. I brought it just in case you can think of that. You can muddle the mint inside your glass. But I started with some ice. And then a trick, I think a lot of you, people that follow me, will see a variation of a mint cocktail that I'll make, and we'll slap the mint. So I think you've seen this too, Sue. When you slap the mint and you release the oils, okay? So you release the oils and you're able to just really get that mint out, and you kind of toss it into the shaker. Okay? And then you have the rum. Right?
Do you take the stem off of the mint?
So no, I mean, yes, you could take the stem, yes.
Okay.
So you kept it in. Definitely take the leaves off if you're making it at home, anyone, but the stems have flavor too. We want to shake it. The purpose is when you shake it in the shaker, you have a nice breakdown of that mint. You want to have a beautiful cocktail, right? So, okay, so the mint is down, and then we have a jigger, classic jigger. Each cocktail you're going to get at a cocktail lounge is going to be 3 ounces. So this is half an ounce and this is 1 ounce. So that means that you're going to do 1.5 ounces of the liquor, and then the rest, 1.5 ounces, will be your spirit, your sour, your juice, your sour, whatever it is that you're going to mix with your cocktail, right? So we already started with the mint. We're going to do the Bacardi. 1.5 ounces, right? So 1 and a little bit there. And then we're going to do the tamarind juice for the remainder, okay? Because since I'm only using the juice to give me that flavor, I'm going to use the exact amount. Okay? And so there. And so since I'm using a jigger and a shaker, you want to get it really cold and really, that mint really broken down. So you're going to use like 1.5 ounces is about 3 tablespoons or 1/4 cup. Okay? And so I'm going to shake this up. And I always tell people, you're going to see the shaker sweat, but you want to get it to get really icy. That way you have a nice foam on your cocktail. So it'll be really nice and cold and really beautiful. All the flavors in it.
You put the ice in the shaker?
Yes. So put ice in here, shake it really hard. That way you can break down that mint into the cocktail. And this takes some arm power for sure. Okay, so now I got it really icy. Okay. And we're going to pour it into the glass. I'm going to bring it up here that way you guys can see that beautiful foam that is going to appear. Okay.
Oh my gosh, it looks good. It looks so good already. Mine is a little darker, but...
Yeah, no worries.
Yes.
Okay, so then I always love to make my cocktails pretty. So I'm going to just lay a little mint leaf on there.
Okay.
We get a nice, beautiful one. Uh-huh. Boop. And then there you go. You have the tamarind, mint, julep. Cheers, Alamo. Cheers.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers, Mama.
Yes.
Cheers, Sue. Thank you so much.
Of course.
So that's it.
Oh my God, so good.
Right? So refreshing, very summery.
Yes.
And using, ingredients. We have a second one, so if you want, I'll make another one just so we can get an idea.
Yeah.
I've got guanabana juice.
Okay.
And so obviously this one I had to buy made because guanabanas now I can't find because of the virus, right? So I always make a play on a margarita using rum with this, okay? So let me just cut a lime. And I love guanabana juice. It's so good in cocktails. So I did a little lime and spice rim. And then I put a couple of ice cubes. And we're going to pour, my margaritas that I always love is agave, fresh lime juice, and tequila, right? And so I'm not going to use a sweetener because I'm using the guanabana juice. So I'm going to squeeze some fresh lime. And this is just another idea for you guys to use your guanabana juice if you ever see it at the market. Squeeze a fresh lime, do the ounce of the guanabana juice, and then the ounce of the rum. Okay? And because I always love to use Bacardi, so I make cocktails based in that, right?
Yes.
All right, there we go. And then that is the guanabana margarita.
Oh my God, that looks yummy. Yes.
Yeah, that's really good too. So I would suggest trying some. Okay.
Yes,
so
Vanessa.
Cheers.
Perfect time, Vanessa. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Yummy, yummy. Yes.
Yeah. And so then the recipe we're gonna make is the roasted shrimp and red peppers on a crispy toston. And so I incorporate my pique sauce that I told you I'd make, which is our pique is our traditional Puerto Rican hot sauce. And I make it out of pineapple skin and pineapple juice. And so this is it. And that is a fermented sauce. So that's why you put the skin and you put the juice so that that can ferment. You can add chilies, you can add any spice you'd like, but it's never going to get very spicy because of that pineapple factor, right? Because as Puerto Ricans, we don't eat spicy food. We eat more vinegar-based food, and we never eat raw food. So this is a nice additive because it gives that a nice spice. And so this has culantro, garlic, pineapple juice, vinegar, and a few extra ingredients. And so, I'm starting, since, a few months ago, I started selling these and jarring them, this and sofritos. So you can find it on my website.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sofrito. Yum.
Yeah.
So do you have a cookbook? Do you currently have a cookbook?
Yeah, so I do. I have an ebook that I'm actually going to publish this week online, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I have, it's 32 recipes, traditional island recipes from arroz con gandules to a baked chicken, appetizers, desserts, and entree. I'm missing entree, and a few desserts. Cocktails is going to be the second book that I have going on right now. So I'm publishing a second one. It's going to be cocktails and like vegan desserts and like healthy food. So it's going to be a mix of different things. But that traditional one is called Recetas de mi Isla, and it's $5 for the 32 recipes. And you can also hit me up on the DM if you like that one.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Definitely send it to me. I would love to
Yeah,
share
no,
it.
definitely.
Yeah, with my
Of
mom,
course,
my
yeah.
family, and everyone. Yeah, and it's
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah, for sure.
my girlfriend Vanessa's on here, and she said great timing with the book. I agree because we're all home, we're all cooking right now. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, of course. Thank God. Like I thought ahead. I said, you know what? If I teach people, they're not going to be able to keep up with everything that I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm.
let me actually give them something that they can get to on the phone when
Yeah,
they're at home or in the supermarket, and they know exactly what to purchase and they know
exactly.
exactly a quick way to look at a recipe. So yeah, it's great. I'm really
Awesome.
excited about that. So yeah, definitely send it over, and yeah, let me know if anyone's interested. I would love that.
You're
Thank you.
doing so many great things. I'm so proud of you. So let's get to the cooking, and
Okay.
then as you're cooking, you can explain to us what you're doing, and I'll ask you a few questions, and let's have some fun.
Okay, great. So let me move the camera over, okay?
Okay, great.
And then let me start this up again because I started the tostones early because, like I said, it got really hot over here today. Let me see. Are we good? I'm going to move it over a little
Yeah.
bit more. Let me just get these out. Okay. All right. Let me just move this over and then move my camera over a little bit. 1 second. Just figuring out my setup, you know?
Of course, yes.
Okay. There. Okay, so we're gonna make a recipe that everyone loves in my class, obsession. I make it often. So what I do is I send people various recipes based on their diet, and then they pick from there what they want to eat, right?
Okay.
And so obviously the recipes that I keep in the class, but since this is going on, I'm happy to share them now, and I want to really teach people how to eat our food. And so we use our plátano, right, our green banana, and so this is what we're going to fry and make our tostones with. So we're going to use our tostonera, and we're going to fry this up. And a lot of people don't know how to do so, so they don't know how to use it. I'll just move this a little closer. And so a plátano, what do you have to do? A plátano, you have to cut both ends off. And this is a trick I always use. The curved part of the plátano, you want to put it in your palm, right? Because you're going to cut a perforation through it and you don't want to go through your hand and cut your hand off, right? And so, hey, D'Essence is right there.
Hi, D'Essence.
She said, hello. Okay, so, and then another cheat thing that I have is a butter knife, your best friend when you're dealing with plátanos, because if you're a newbie, plátanos can be really hard to work with, and you can get that plátano under your skin, which is really painful, if you guys know, right? And so I go into the skin with the butter knife, and I peel that skin off, okay? And so it's way easier to get off that way, and that way you don't injure yourself. And the point is that we want to get a crispy tostón, right? In Puerto Rico and Santo Domingo, they make tostones very hard. And so I always hated that because I'm like, I want to dip my tostones in my beans, and I want to use it as like, you know, in patacones in Venezuela too, they're very hard. I want to use it in a way that it's a little crispy and soft inside so that I can top it, or so I can use it for, or can have a tostón that I can dip in my beans or whatever, right? And so the first thing I do is I cut the whole plátano into eighths, right? And so you want to get a decent size so that you can make a tostón, a big enough tostón, right? And from here, they go into salt water. And so I put them right into salt water because we want to get some of that fibrous stuff out.
Yes.
Okay? And so we put it in salt water, we lay them there, and I started some up already. And we fry it, right. The difference between Mofongo and tostones is that we fry twice for tostones and once for mofongo, right? And so that's what I always explain. You cut them, you fry them once, you make sure that they're fully cooked. If you're going to make your mofongo, you use your mofonguera. If not, we're going to use our tostones. And so I'm going to try one out that I already fried and see how we're doing. Mash away. And so, yeah, we're good. You want to get a nice mash, you see?
Nice, yes.
We want to make sure it felt really soft when I mashed it. If it feels hard while you're mashing it, it means that it's not fully cooked and you need to cook it a little longer. Okay, and so from there it's going to go into the oil. And so I'm going to make my tostones that way because the shrimp salad is super fast. That way, by the time we're done with the shrimp salad, we're done. Our tostones are ready to just top them, right? And so I'm going to keep bringing them over.
Yes. So while you're doing that,
continue to fry them. Okay. And I use this the pique sauce as the dressing, right? As the sauce for the salad. It's super. It's really, really good.
So while you're doing that, let me ask you a few things. So how have you been dealing with the COVID and everything? Because I know that you were holding your classes in your space, and now with everybody social distancing and everything, it's been quite challenging, I'm sure.
Right. So I work part-time with the seniors from Los Sures. So this is the area in Brooklyn that is very heavy with island people and just people that have been in the neighborhood for for over 45 years. I have little puppies, and I just so if you hear them or anything, I just got puppies through the quarantine, but it's an area that we have many seniors, and so my job shifted. I was having a weekly cena with them and cooking with them, and I would go to different locations. It was really beautiful. But obviously, since the COVID, I have been pretty much working at a food pantry with Los Sures that we run on Tuesdays. And so we reach out to the community, make sure the seniors basically make sure that they have the food they need, the medication that they need right now, that they're receiving help from anyone if they are alone or if they have a home health care worker, if that person is available. And so that's all I've been doing the past few months of the virus. I have been a little bit stagnant in terms of like doing my Island Life Kitchen stuff, just because I feel like there's such a need in other places, and I need to put myself, where I need to be right now. And so I'm praying that I can have my business back after everything, and I'm just hoping for the best. But, like I spoke to D-Essence when we spoke online. We're just creating new ways of, bringing our business out there and our content. And so that's what I'm doing, and just kind of keeping positive, If I kept recipes, I'm going to give them away, Because, what's the point? I don't know what's going to happen in the future, so I might as well share what I have and what I've done so far, and then continue from there, right?
Exactly, absolutely. And I think it's so great that you're giving back, to the community during this time, and that you're also working with the elderly. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's something that it was a really beautiful thing, because I wanted to bring my classes to Los Sures. So that was my idea. Bring them to the classes and bring them to Los Sures, instead of doing my class here and like getting a drink there, getting some food there, and kind of talking about the community, because that's where my father first came to New York, was in Los Sures when he came to Puerto Rico. And so I still have family on South 9th. It's a big part of my, that's where we used to go when I was young, to hang out, to buy produce, to buy vegetables, to buy meat, And so it's a big part of my life. And so I wanted to just bring people there. And it turned out that they needed someone. They were looking for someone to create a program for the seniors. And so I took the job, and I'm so grateful. And it turns out that, service is something that I really love and I'm really passionate about. And so it kind of shifted, and now I'm actually my position was for a year, and now I'm actually working full time with them. So it's something that, I'm really grateful for. I get to speak Spanish every day. I get to be with my people, and I bring joy to people that maybe don't have family or are alone or might be sick, and all they talk about is Puerto Rico and Santo Domingo and our countries and the way they grew up. And so I have a ball, I have a great time. And, it's like, they're just like us. women just like us. They had their husbands, they had their lovers, they had their lives,
Yeah.
you know, and they have a lot to say, and they don't have anyone to listen, really.
Yeah.
And so it's a great blessing that I have that
Look
right
at
now.
that.
You know,
That's so
speaking out.
amazing. Look at God, right?
Right,
Look at
right.
God.
Oh my
That,
God.
that
And
is
that's what
so
I
amazing.
have, a little army of people praying for me, you know, for the things that I want to. And so I'm so grateful that I have that, because before I didn't. So it's like, wow, I had my family, my friend, but you know, now it's like a little army there that I have bigger.
You found your tribe, your
Right,
island
right,
tribe.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. So I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've been getting a lot of people recently that want to volunteer or donate. And so it's been really nice, because I've been meeting a lot of people from Instagram, you know, that'll stop by. And so it's been a good connector, you know, because
Yeah.
now people know, you know, there's people out there. Right now, NYCHA needs so much help. NYCHA buildings need so much help. They're not receiving food. You know, they're not getting their stimulus checks. There's a lot of situations. Obviously, our community is getting hit with the summons for, you know, the space is 6 feet apart. There's a lot of things that are going on. And the majority of these people live in those buildings.
Right.
And so you get to hear what's happening. And a lot of people are sick and dying, obviously, in the buildings.
Yeah.
And so it's something that we need to, I have to protect myself. In the beginning of the situation, I was scared, obviously, of the virus, of the pandemic. I was scared to be in the neighborhood. I was scared to be out. But then it took me a week or two, and I was like, you know what? I just got to do it. I'll protect myself. I have a great immune system, and you know what? I can fight through this if anything happens.
Exactly.
And that's how I've been going back. You know, every day, just it's okay. I'll protect myself, and we'll deal with the situation if it comes or if it doesn't. You know, we'll be good. So. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
what are we up to?
Okay, so we did the tostones, but we're gonna start the shrimp. And so let me get the shrimp out in the fridge. 1 second. Because it's so hot, I'm not able to leave anything out because it's so hot today. But yeah, so seafood. I love to talk about our adobo. So talking about Goya. Goya made a huge dent, obviously, in our foods and in our products. In the 80s, they used to write recipe books. You know, they used to write recipe books that you can purchase based on all their products. You know, I'm sure that their initial idea was to bring these products in an easier way, you know, and whatever it might be. But I don't like to kick them or fault them, because that they put us on the map for other cultures, right? But I love to have people make their own adobo, make their own sofrito, make everything from scratch. So I teach people how to make it. And so I'm just gonna talk about that for 1 second, and then we're gonna talk about the ingredients in the shrimp, right? So you can make your own adobo with Himalayan salt, oregano, black pepper, garlic powder, achiote or anato. So this is our colorant, right? This is how we get our rices, and we get those beautiful bright red colors, right? You get anato, cumin, and we always use turmeric for colorant also, okay? So that's why the adobo is that orange color, because of these two ingredients, right? And
so let me ask you a question. What is the difference of you making it with the ingredients you just shared as opposed to buying it already made through Goya?
So anything that you buy, regardless of the company, is going to have additives, right? It's going to have things that aren't particularly natural in order to preserve it. And so a big thing, obviously in the spice game, that's not it, but palm oil is a big thing that you're going to read now in products. And palm oil is really bad. It's a supplement for high fructose corn syrup. And so it's just as bad. It's a really bad sugar intake. And so you're going to see it in common products nowadays. I'm sorry, let me lower this. You're going to see it in common products. And so I always tell people, make sure it doesn't have palm oil. And with spices, it's all these preservatives that you don't need. So you can make your own. You can add all these spices that I mentioned into a big jar and make your own adobo at home. Okay? And so with shrimp and seafood, I love to just be basic. And these are the 4 spices that I use: black pepper, pink salt, oregano, and garlic powder. That's it. And so that's how I marinate my fish and my shrimp. And so that's what I added already. And so I'm going to put it on the skillet. And so I'm going to start with the red pepper. So our recipe has red peppers, purple onion, and the shrimp is the salad and recao, right? So I always talk about recao. It's our green It's
Yeah.
the island green that we use. It's called in English sawtooth green. Buddy, baby. Okay. And so, it's so great that I got puppies because at this time, because I wouldn't be able to teach my cooking classes if I hadn't,
Right.
because I'm learning now and teaching them with the sounds and everything. But okay, so this is culantro de cow, sawtooth green in English, and so it's from the cilantro family. It's the male of the species, so cilantro is female, and so this one is a little more lemony and fresh, and it's really nice in the bite. So I love to add it to a salad. It just makes a vibrant, fresh salad. Okay, so I'm gonna add the red peppers first, because I love a caramelized red pepper, right? Hold on one second, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I love a caramelized red pepper, and I'm gonna add the raw onion to that, okay? Because I also want that crunch from the raw onion. So we're going to get that red pepper sauteed really nice. And I'll bring you over closer.
I'm sorry.
Oh, and another thing that I do also is that I only fry in coconut oil. And so reason being is that so I have my oil ready. Obviously, when you're frying, make sure that the handle's nowhere out here. It's facing backwards. That way you don't make a mess and you don't injure yourself. And so I use coconut oil because it's going to be a little fatty in the content. It's an oil that is high in fat. But you're not going to fry every day. You're not frying every single day. And I want to eliminate that oily toston, that it seeps up all the canola and all the veggie oil, where it's so oily you can't even take a bite. I don't like it. And so coconut oil eliminates that. Obviously, if you don't like the taste, you can get an unrefined or refined. And so you can work with it. There's coconut oils that don't have taste at all. So you just find one that works for you. And so I saute the red pepper really well on high. And so I'll let that cook for a second. Then I add the shrimp. And the shrimp, I deveined it. I cleaned it really well. And then I'm going to chop it really fine. So then we can just pour it on top of our little toston chip, right? And so while that is working, I make a sauce for it. So
okay,
this is a sauce that I make all the time for steak.
Let me ask you about the shrimp real quick. So do you get your shrimp only from the fish markets or packaged already?
Okay, so no, shrimp, you need to buy frozen because the one that are laying at the fish market, just out, they've been caught, frozen, and then defrosted. So do not buy that. You want to buy the seasonal fish and you want to buy wild caught. You do not want to buy anything that's been cage grown, or anything that's been mass produced. A lot of the salmon now is made that way, and so that's why I never make salmon. I make a lot of sea bass. I make a lot of branzino. I make a lot of, what is this other fish called? Tilapia. So I make a lot of fishes that I can get that are seasonal and that are wild caught. Always look for that. Obviously, it's going to be a little pricier, but if your family is 2 or 3 people, you buy 2 or 3 big chunks, or 4 people, 2 or 3 big chunks of fish. You divide it. You make a bunch of sides, tostones, your rice. You guys can eat all together. You know, I buy a bag of shrimp at Costco, frozen, $17. It lasts me for 2 people, 5 or 6 meals. You know what I mean? So it's things that you can use. And when it comes to meat, when I was doing my class, I would always go to the halal meat market. And so I would buy my meat there because that's the best. They cook it, they can kill it the best way. They just drain the blood out and it doesn't affect the meat at all. And you're going to have a nice chicken or beef or lamb. I've gotten a lot of different cuts there. Yeah, and so just to change, and if you're at a halal supermarket, you should go to the halal section because it's always healthier. And they actually remove a lot of the fat too from meats, so it's really good. And so, yeah, so I always tell people that. I always tell them how to buy their meat also and their seafood.
Yes. So when I post our afterlife, before I post it, I want you to send me the information on the halal markets and let us know that it's better to buy the shrimp frozen and things like that. And also, I along the way, I'm gonna ask you about the markets where you get your fresh greens.
Oh, right. Yes. So that was a big part of my class too, is that if people were in New York, I wanted them to find the markets where our ingredients are, right? And so that was the borough that I missed was the Bronx. That was my next venture. I would take trips out there, but it's so far and few between that I couldn't get a concise, grouping of really where you can find Guanabana, you can find Mavi, you can find our Florida avocados, and, certain things that you can only find seasonally. Breadfruit that I use a lot. And so that's something that, obviously when I get out of here, I'm going to continue to search for those markets and make sure I can find that so that I can let people know in each borough, if they live in New York, where to shop. Now, before the epidemic, I would go a lot to Jamaica, Queens. I'm a Queens girl, so I know more Queens. I would go to Jamaica, Queens, because it's very heavy in island people. So I can find breadfruit, I can find malanga, I can find all the ingredients, like guanabana for sure, at a cheaper price. Oh, and ají dulce, which is a big thing, our sweet Scotch bonnet that I always talk about. And so now it's so funny, I guess, because the markets are having, certain issues with what they can find at the time. I'm finding a lot of island ingredients at my local market. So I'm like, thank God, because I need it. I need them. Just so I can continue content and whatnot. Okay, so that's ready. And I'm going to add the shrimp, and it's at high. A trick that I do when I make shrimp is I keep the skillet hot. I cook one side, and then I turn it off and flip the other side because it'll finish cooking. The skillet's so hot, it'll finish cooking and you won't get an overcooked shrimp. Okay? Okay. So this is, obviously we talked about a 20-minute dinner, and so this is a 20-minute dinner. Once you have everything ready, 20 minutes. You can also, what I do is I make this salad also, and I get a chayote. I don't know if you guys know a chayote. I'll show you. This is big in Puerto Rico, our chayotes. So we make a stuffed chayote, right? We cut it in half. Chayote is, in English, it's a squash pear. Okay, so and that's how I describe it to people. It's a mix between a squash and a pear because it has that pear consistency, but it's a squash family, right? And so we cut it in half, and you can stuff it with ground beef or with this shrimp salad for like a healthier lunch. Instead of making the tostones, you don't want to fry, you boil this up. After you cut it in half, you take out the core, and it has a little bowl in the middle actually where you can just throw your salad on top. So it's really good. Yeah. And so these, we're going to just get them on high, let them finish. And then I'm going to finish adding the ingredients in here that I need. So we're going to add the recao, culantro, right? We're going to add a purple onion. Okay? And then we're going to add our pica sauce. And so the pica sauce is what gives it that delicious, amazing flavor. Pica sauce is, like I said, the pineapple juice, garlic cloves. I put recao in it, so the culantro. And we also use culantro like bay leaves. So we lay them in our beans, we put them in the sauce, and it really adds, that culantro really adds an amazing, amazing flavor. And also this has black peppercorns and salt. So it's really nice. And so right now I'm smelling like vinegar and fresh pineapple, like really nice, a lot of garlic.
Yeah.
And so let me see if I can show you. You guys can see that. And it's a bright salad. I wanted to make food that was colorful. And so this is one of my salads. It's really colorful and vibrant. And so let me check on the shrimp.
Yum, I wish I was there. So I was saying yum, I wish I was there.
Oh, I know, I want to feed you. I love it. I'm like so sad I can't feed people. But you know what? It's okay.
This has like a tangy kind of flavor, right? Which I like.
Yes. So with the pica sauce, you're gonna have a little bit of a tang because it's a fermented sauce. So it's just like a kombucha. It's gonna have, but since you're adding spices and garlic, it takes away, it flavors that fermentation. So it's really vibrant, it's full of flavor, it's really nice. And so if you guys purchase it, you can put your own pepper. Like if you like spicy food, if you don't like just vinegar-based food, you like a spicy meal, you can just drop in your dry peppers or a habanero, and that'll add a little bit of spice for you. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And I always like to have a drink while I'm cooking. So,
Yes.
yeah. And so these are ready. I like a nice char on the skin too of the shrimp. And I'll bring you over again. Okay, beautiful. And then it smells like garlic, oregano, really nice. Let me bring you over so you can see. Yes, there we go. You see? Okay. And so always you want to, I'm going to turn it off because they're done. We don't want to overcook the shrimp because you don't want a grainy salad, right?
Right.
And so these I'm going to chop up really fine because I want to make sure that each tostón has enough of every ingredient, okay? And I could, you could chop them beforehand, but I love to get that char on the skin. And so that's why I keep them whole and do it after.
Okay.
Okay? And then when we're done, we're going to add the spices that we're going to add to the salad. I'm going to leave some out. Okay? Let me get my tongs again. And obviously, you can just chop away, get these really fine. And then we're going to top it. And I'm going to talk about the sauce. So I make a culantro chimichurri. So like, play on the Argentinian chimichurri, which is with parsley. Mine is with culantro, olive oil, garlic. And so we're going to top each tostón with that little sauce. Okay? You can also add red pepper flakes.
The sauce, is it spicy? I don't know if you mentioned that already.
The sauce, I'm sorry?
The sauce, is it spicy?
No, so the sauce, so a traditional, it's a steak sauce. You can make it spicy by adding red pepper flakes, definitely. But it's more, the oil is infused with whatever herb you add to it, right?
Okay.
And so you can add vinegar as well. I don't want to add vinegar, the Argentinians do, because I want to get that essence of that culantro. And so by the time I'm done, it tastes very fresh and vibrant, really nice. So if anyone that's following ever finds any culantro at the store, I would suggest to buy it and try it out. It's such a nice herb to incorporate into your meals. And it's a new flavor. A lot of people are shocked by how nice it is. And in Puerto Rico, in our yard, it grows like grass, Mm-hmm. It's something that I'm very used to using. Okay, so we're done here. I'm going to pour it into the bowl. There we go. And so remember, that has oregano, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. So that's like really vibrant. And with that culantro, it's adding a really extra flavor. You guys can see.
Yummy. I love it.
Yeah. And so let me bring the tostones over.
Is that a little bit like ceviche?
So yeah, because we make our, ensalada de camarón, we never make anything raw. And I always wanted to keep that in my recipes because we don't eat like Mexicans cured shrimp or fish, right? We have to cook. We cook our fish and our shrimp. And so even with a shrimp salad that we make, it is a vinegar-based salad. You boil the shrimp and you put in your sides, right? And we usually eat it with a guineo verde, boiled banana, or with a boiled breadfruit. And so that's how we eat that salad, And so I wanted to make it the same way so you guys have an idea that we don't eat anything raw. We eat fresh, cooked, and we eat a vinegar-based sauce always. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so let me get the sauce because I already made a chimichurri too.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and so I wanted to show you how I do it because I make a batch of it and then I pour it in a mason and then I can just get from there whenever I need it, right? Because this is just going to get better with time. It's not going to get worse because the oil is going to stop anything from going bad, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pour a little in here because this is what's going to go on top of the tostón. And this sauce is amazing with steak. So if you're making we eat skirt steak in our countries. So a nice skirt steak, well or medium, however you like it, with that sauce on top, delicious. Okay, so let me bring the tostones over and the serving dish. Okay, there we go. And then it also adds, that sauce adds like a little green on top that's really nice. Okay. Yeah. There we go. And you can pour over.
Mm-hmm.
Meal for sure. But it is delish. And, you know, just another idea while you're in quarantine, make some Puerto Rican food, make some island food. You know, this is what we usually eat in the summer.
It's so easy and quick and simple to make.
Yeah, so do you see? It took me no time. Once everything's ready, just gonna make sure this is all on. Once everything's ready, 20 minutes. And so that's what a lot of people don't understand about our food. It's clean, simple, and quick to make. Our rice dishes are quick to make. A lot of our banana-based and plátano-based dishes are easy to make. We make our seafood, 15, 20 minutes. Also, we made our codfish with our boiled breadfruit or bananas. And so, yeah. And so this is the shrimp toston. Can you see?
Yummy, yes.
So this is the pique shrimp salad on a crispy toston. I wish I could give you. Here, babe. So, yeah, this is it. I hope you guys can make it at home, and it'll be a nice addition to your family's dinner. For sure.
I love it. Oh my God. Thank you so much for this amazing
You're welcome, Sue.
presentation. Yes. Cheers. I hope that everyone took
Cheers,
notes. Cheers.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. I hope everyone took notes, and definitely make sure that you follow her page, Island Life Kitchen. Make sure that you check out her book, her ebook that she is launching this week. Make sure that you follow her recipes. Make sure you order her goodies, her sofritos, her mixes, and stuff like that. Like it's
I have everything. Great. I have pilones, I have tostoneras, I have the pique, and the ebook is ready. So you can purchase it from me. And then this week I'll have it on another website, you know, an outsourced website also.
There you go, because you know we get tired of making the same dishes, especially now that we're in quarantine. We're like making, you know, the exact same thing, and it's like, all right, we need a change. Well, here you go. Now you have
and so I have a lot of options. Yes, I have a lot of options for you. And then on my Instagram, you could see what I've made throughout these couple of years, all island based, and give you some ideas. That's all I want to do, is just give people ideas of how to cook our food and, you know, the way that we eat. In family, we're big on family. We're big on sharing our recipes and sharing our food. And so why not continue those traditions? So,
yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So everyone check her out. Oh my gosh, she is such a fearless chef. I love her.
Thank you so much. I love you too.
Listen, I am so happy of your transformation. I am so happy of everything that you're doing. It's always so heartwarming for me to see, you know, everyone from where they started to, you know, all the things that they're accomplishing. Like God only has so many great things for you. So
thank you.
Yeah,
cheers.
And I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, no, and I want to say, like, I could not do this without women like you who have helped me so much and always check in on me and keep me in that space to continue. You know, you always motivate me, and I'm so grateful to have met you, and I thank you so much. And yes, you have seen my journey.
That's what we're here for. Listen, when I saw you through social media, I felt energy from you. That's what I felt. So I'm so happy to have met you also. And you know what we need to do? We need to do a live, and we need to dance on our live.
Oh, I love that. I'm there.
The other day.
You know I'm there. That's how I get through things, dancing and music, you know? So yeah. But cheers, and thank you, Sue, so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Have a good night. Mwah.
Thank you, love. Mwah. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys learned a few little tricks and some new dishes to make at home while you're in quarantine. Thank you so much for watching the Fearless Fridays IG Live series. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. And I'll be back next week. Take care, guys, and stay safe out there.